Hey everyone, welcome back to Deep Dive Books Recap. Today, we're exploring one of the most enduring and influential texts in military strategy, The Art of War by Sun Tzu, an ancient Chinese general, philosopher, and strategist from the 5th century BCE. This slim treatise, originally written on bamboo slips, has shaped warfare, business, politics, and even sports for over 2,500 years. Sun Tzu's genius lies in his emphasis on intelligence, deception, adaptability, and winning without fighting, rather than brute force. But we're not stopping at history. We'll connect these timeless principles to the explosive, ongoing U.S.-Israel-Iran war that erupted on February 28, 2026. With joint U.S.-Israeli strikes killing Iran's supreme leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei and targeting nuclear and military sites. As of March 1, 2026, retaliatory Iranian missiles have killed U.S. troops, Israeli civilians, and struck allies across the Middle East, raising fears of a wider regional war, involving proxies like Hezbollah and the Houthis. Picture Sun Tzu on a misty battlefield, advising, "The supreme art of war is to subdue the enemy without fighting." Yet in modern conflicts like this one, where miscalculation meets high-tech weaponry, his ideas reveal why some strategies succeed and others spiral into chaos. Let's break it down chapter by chapter, then pivot to how these lessons play out in the current crisis. The Art of War is divided into 13 concise chapters, each focusing on a facet of strategy. Sun Tzu stresses that war is a matter of life and death, demanding careful calculation over impulsive action. Victory comes from superior planning, not superior numbers. Chapter 1. Laying Plans. Sun Tzu outlines 5 fundamentals: the moral law, heaven, earth, the commander, and methody discipline. He advises, all warfare is based on deception. Assess strengths and weaknesses objectively. Victory favors the prepared. Chapter 2. Waging war. War drains resources, prolong it, and you weaken yourself. Sun Tzu urges swift, decisive action. When you surround an army, leave an outlet free, plunder the enemy to sustain your forces, but avoid overextension. Chapter 3. Attack by stratagem. The pinnacle. Win without battle through superior strategy. Subdue via alliances, intelligence, or psychological pressure. Know the enemy and know yourself. In 100 battles, you will never be in peril. Attack where the enemy is unprepared. Avoid where they're strong. Chapter 4. Tactical dispositions. Positioning is key. Defend from high ground, attack downhill. The skilled warrior makes themselves invincible first, then exploits enemy vulnerabilities. Chapter 5. Energy. Direct and indirect methods. Use normal forces to engage, extraordinary ones to win. Momentum is like rolling logs downhill. Build it through surprise and variety. Chapter 6. Weak points and strong. Appear weak when strong, strong when weak. Force the enemy to move, strike their gaps. The clever combatant imposes his will on the enemy, but does not allow the enemy's will to be imposed on him. Chapter 7. Maneuvering. Terrain matters. Use narrow passes to defend, open plains to maneuver. Unite your army. Avoid separation. Deception lures the enemy into traps. Chapter 8. Variation in tactics. Adapt to circumstances. Rigid plans fail. 5 faults to avoid: recklessness, cowardice, hasty temper, delicacy of honor, over-concern for men. Chapter 9. The Army on the March. Observe enemy signs. Dust clouds indicate movement. Birds fleeing signal ambushes. Camp on high ground. Fight downhill. Chapter 10. Terrain. 6 types: accessible, entangling, temporizing, narrow passes, precipitous heights, distant positions. Know when to fight or withdraw. Chapter 11. The 9 situations. Ground types dictate strategy: dispersive, facile, contentious, open, intersecting highways, serious, difficult, hemmed in, desperate. Chapter 12. The attack by fire. Use fire or modern equivalents like airstrikes under right conditions: dry weather, Wind direction. Follow up with attacks. Chapter 13. The use of spies. Intelligence is paramount. Foreknowledge wins wars. 5 spy types: local, inward, converted, doomed, surviving, overall message and legacy. Sun Tzu's philosophy is holistic. War is an extension of politics, won through intellect over force. Key themes: deception, adaptability, knowledge have influenced figures from Napoleon to Mao Zedong, and modern doctrines like asymmetric warfare. It's not just military. It's life strategy. Outthink, don't outfight. Connecting asterisk the art of war asterisk to the ongoing US-Israel-Iran war. Now, let's bridge ancient wisdom to today's headlines. The US-Israel-Iran conflict escalated dramatically on February 28, 2026, with joint strikes under US President Donald Trump and Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, embodying Sun Tzu's principles both in adherence and violation. Codenamed Roaring Lion by Israel and Operation Epic Fury by the US, the attacks targeted Iran's nuclear sites, military infrastructure, and leadership, killing Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei in Tehran. This followed years of shadow wars, including a 12-day conflict in 2025 and direct exchanges in 2024. Iran retaliated with ballistic missiles and drones, hitting Israel and US bases in the Gulf, and allies like the UAE and Saudi Arabia, killing 3 US troops and civilians. Trump has vowed regime change, with strikes continuing into March 1st. Knowing the enemy and self. Chapter 3. Sun Tzu warns, if you know neither the enemy nor yourself, you will succumb in every battle. The US and Israel appear to have prepared extensively, striking hundreds of targets, including Khamenei's location, aiming for decapitation and nuclear neutralization. Yet miscalculation looms. Trump crossed Iran's red line, underestimating retaliation's ferocity. Iran's proxies could widen the war, as Khamenei warned of a regional war. Iran knows its terrain, using asymmetric tactics like missiles from hidden sites, while the US risks overextension in a distant conflict. Deception and surprise. Chapters 1. 6. All warfare is based on deception. The initial strikes caught Iran off guard, but Iran's response, waves of missiles targeting ships, air hubs, and populated areas, exploits deception via proxies and unpredictable launches. Netanyahu's vow to increase strikes mirrors appearing strong when strong, but Iran's vow for revenge could lure allies into traps. Terrain and maneuvering. Chapters 7. 10. The Persian Gulf's entangling terrain favors Iran. Straits for disrupting oil shipments, mountains for hiding assets. US-Israeli airstrikes use precipitous heights air superiority, but ground involvement risks serious ground quagmires, as in past regime change efforts. Avoiding protracted war. Chapter 2. Sun Tzu cautions against long wars draining resources. Trump's ahead of schedule claim suggests a quick win, but Iran's regional strikes could prolong it, involving more nations and spiking oil prices. Intelligence and spies. Chapter 13. Foreknowledge is key. US-Israel's precise targeting implies strong intel. Iran's pre-strike warnings and rapid retaliation show their spy networks in action. In essence, this war tests Sun Tzu's ideals. Can the US-Israel alliance win without full invasion? Or will Iran's adaptability turn it into a desperate, hemmed-in fight? As casualties mount, US troops, Israeli civilians, Iranian leaders, the ancient text reminds us, true victory avoids destruction. Midway check-in. If this deep dive blending ancient strategy with today's headlines on asterisk the art of war asterisk and the US-Israel-Iran conflict hooked you, hit that follow, subscribe button on Deep Dive Book Recap right now. Comment below, which book or conflict should I tackle next? Your ideas shape the series. Wrapping up, thanks for exploring this full recap of asterisk the art of war asterisk and its stark relevance to the ongoing 2026 Iran war. Sun Tzu's lessons endure because they expose the pitfalls of hubris in conflict, from Trump's regime change push to Iran's proxy-fueled retaliation. If it sparked thoughts on strategy or geopolitics, like this, comment your biggest insight, share with someone following the news, and subscribe to follow Deep Dive Books Recap for more timely, thought-provoking breakdowns. Let's keep connecting history to the headlines. What's your take? Could Sun Tzu's principles end this war without more bloodshed? Drop it in the comments. I read everyone. See you in the next recap.